gender roles can have a huge effect on our relationships, especially when we're not aware of them.
Yeah, understanding the messages we receive from our families, from the media, are key to understanding how we be with each other. So our relationship guru, Dr. Kirsten Lind Seal, is here to explore some of the ways that gender roles can influence our relationships. They can be helpful, they can be less helpful. Nice to have you with us.
Nice to be here.
So this is, maybe it's helpful to start with a definition of what you mean by gender roles.
Right, so when we talk about gender roles, we're not talking about differences necessarily between the genders or whether people are being treated equally or unequally. What we're talking about is how we have, what messages we've taken in about what it means to be a man or what it means to be a woman in our society, given that we're defining it on the gender binary like that.
So I think that sometimes, to maybe simplify this a little bit, you think of the traditional mom who cooks, dad takes out the trash.
Exactly.
So why is this important in relationships to even have this discussion?
Right, well, so like as in everything with relationships, the more you can talk about what's actually going on, the better. And so when people partner up, it's really important that there's a pretty clear understanding of sort of what, at least starting out, kind of what are you going to do, what am I going to do, right? And what you run into problems when there's a difference in how people are expecting to be. Like, for example, if a man, so the traditional men are the providers, but actually we know that something like 47% of married women out-earn their husbands and are more the major breadwinner.
And I can tell you that is wonderful.
Well, right? So
living in that, it's the best. My wife could make more money as far as I'm concerned. Yes.
So, but the problem comes, so that's great,
but some guys are uncomfortable with that.
Some guys feel like, again, that they are not they're not doing the roles that they were trained and brought up to do. And so that's the problem, is being aware that we're getting these messages from society. But I mean, I know plenty of couples where the man cooks and cleans more, or the man is the stay-at-home dad. And if that is the arrangement within the marriage or within the couple, then that's great.
What parts of the relationship do you see really being affected by this? Because it can be great if it all works out and it's perfect, but if someone's uncomfortable, then that's maybe where things get weird.
I'll actually tell you a gender role issue that I think is actually one, it's kind of subterranean, and that's the one that says that women, and the thing is, there's been quite a bit of research on this, so it's not like this, there's not parts of it that aren't true. But I think a gender role issue that does a real disservice to both men and women is the one that says that women are better at relationships, and that therefore they should take more responsibility for the relationship. So right here you can see, so A, women are somehow supposed to be more responsible because we're better, because we're more social, because of whatever. And then men, it's not so much that they get let off the hook, but that they don't get to sort of participate equally. Right? So this is what can happen in relationships.
You see it with parenting too. I think there's this popular convention that the mother is the better parent.
Mom knows.
And the dad is kind of this oafish idiot.
Right.
Which drives me nuts.
Well, and
because dads today are more involved and more caring than ever before.
Absolutely, but you'll see commercial after commercial where it's like the dumb dad, you know, like, oh, sorry, honey, I had no idea. Right.
Oh, very
and so
upsetting.
these messages we get is that dads don't know. Right?
And
dads do know.
But it does let some dads off the hook.
If they
add
want
extra pressure on some moms.
Exactly.
What about same-sex relationships? Because I feel like oftentimes people assign gender roles there anyway.
Well, of course, you hear about that.
Absolutely.
You're the husband, you're the wife.
Exactly. But so, and now this particularly comes out when they're raising children, right? But something that's very interesting is the recent research indicates in same-sex couples, it's actually a much more egalitarian relationship because the gender role issue is not there. Do you know, men don't feel so pulled because you're either both men or both women.
It's more 50-50.
Exactly. It's easier to negotiate those differences.
Good. It's important to know about it. It's not inherently bad.
Exactly. Like whatever you decide is really is fine. It's just that you both need to be on board, and you need to be talking about it and aware. That's the biggest deal.
Okay.
Good stuff. Kirsten, thank you.
Thank you.